Good morning. We're having an issue at the house. I know today's the AMA, but you guys might remember from way back the birds in my garage. Well, they're back. Except for this time, they made it in the house. I didn't mean to kill your home. There's a window there. Pardon the mess. We're trying to get ready for carpet. There we go. All right, let's just jump right into it. I had you guys ask me questions that you wanted to know to fill today's video. And that's about it. We're gonna scroll through the Instagram. I'll grab the ones that stick out to me, and then we'll head over to Reddit. Let's go ahead and jump right in with a deep digging question from Mikey Yoyos. When can we get history of G2 Jake yo-yo career and the start of G Squared Yoyos? Was it difficult? Fairly easily to be realized. So let's go way back. Of course I yo-yoed during the boom. Played at recess. That was a lot of fun. I had a bunch of yo-yos, collected them back then, collect them now. But basically, I had a job doing maintenance, basically at a school-church, and we would vacuum and mop floors of the classrooms after the kids were out. So there was a lot of downtime waiting for them, and then before we started and after we were done. So one day, I'm cleaning out my closet and I found these yo-yos. I'm like, awesome, I'm gonna take this into work, mess around with it. So I did that, and at that point I had a lovely iPhone, and I started looking up yo-yo tricks to remember how to do them on YouTube. Quickly saw the new unresponsive 1A play, and that got me hooked. Looking at all different yo-yos, grabbed myself a Yo-Yo Jam speed maker, and then the rest is history. From that point I was just playing a lot. Eventually started going to Cleveland Yo-Yo Club, met up with Brett Grimes, who I started the business with eventually, but at that point he did high speed yo-yo. I think my videos are still on there, but we did a lot of stuff with that, painting yo-yos, making tutorials. That was kind of what we had a lot of fun doing. And then eventually we decided, hey, let's give this a shot. Well, at the time, let's back up just a minute. It wasn't quite that easy. At the time, Brett was sponsored by One Drop, and I said, hey, what do you think about us making our own yo-yo? You have the contact with One Drop. Do you think that they'd be willing to machine us one? He talked to him, and at that point it was a go. At that point it wasn't as open that they machined yo-yos for everybody else, so we weren't really sure what to expect. But once we found out it was possible, I took my life savings and created G Squared Yo-Yos. From there, did I ever think we would be where we're at now? As far as anytime I've dropped something for the past year, it's basically gone. No, I did not think we would ever get to this point. It took a lot of work. I mean, my whole kind of philosophy has changed a little bit the last couple years, and it also changed when I bought Brett out as far as how we were doing business. But we started out doing large runs and sending them to retail stores, and they would sit there for a couple months, and then we'd do something else. So that was fine, that was fun, but it wasn't really enough for me. And now where I'm at now, it is more than enough. Basically, I don't have enough time to do what I want to do with this right now, and I'm working on ways to figure that out. As you guys always know, I'm always trying to improve, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how I can put more time into this without completely getting burnt out and without having other areas of life being sacrificed, basically. So I don't know that completely answered your question. It is extremely hard. I mean, there is a ton of behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't even see from the vlog, and I don't think you guys realize how hard the vlog is to do. So it is not easy. There is so much work, I feel like, if you want to make a successful business out of your hobby. Not just yo-yos, but just out of your hobby. Sam Hicks asks, because of the demand and supply of your yo-yos, G2 sponsored players can't really raise sales. So what criteria did Nate, Alpha, Jesse, Mike, Ryan have to become value parts of my team? They've all got different aspects that really make them valuable for me and for the business, and they're all friends of mine. That's a big part of it. As far as I think what this is getting at is trying to figure out what you would have to do to be part of G Squared at this point. Basically, I'm looking for people that are really passionate about the hobby, that are just good character people, have a great understanding of kind of community and support, and they're also content creators. That's what I'm looking for, not necessarily somebody that's going to go out and win every contest. I have thought about looking for players that are high level placing players, and that option is always open. I wouldn't mind that. But more valuable to me is creators of good content, and along with those other characteristics that I just mentioned. Caffeine Junkies Knives says, any plans for a dank TI throw? I am going to be working on a titanium soon. Does soon mean 2017? Maybe. Does it mean 2018? Maybe more likely. Who would you like, Beef Swizzle asks, who would you like to collaborate with a yo-yo on? Really, at this point, nobody. I'm so busy with my own stuff, and the one time we've done a collaboration, that is a whole nother animal. That was incredibly difficult to do, and I've got a lot of different things that I would change next time I do a collaboration than what we have done in the past. Paul Takes Chances. Any thoughts of having a related line - brand of yo-yos under the G2 wing that is produced in high numbers? China, most likely. No, not right now. I'm still set on wanting every single G Squared yo-yo to go through me. What are the top 3 colorways that you've done? Rainicorn G2 Swirl. I think the Snozberries G2 Swirl. And then the OG Arkham would be the top 3 off my head. Goog asks, will we get a G2 Alpha trading card from Yo-Yo Expert? If so, can I get like 10? I'm not really sure where this cutoff is. I don't know if these are going all the way through 2017 or if the next set is picked out in 2018. Basically, I'd have to talk with Andre about it. He'll reach out whenever they start to do the next set, assuming that we get back on pace and can start stocking Yo-Yo Expert again. If I can't get to where I can start stocking Yo-Yo Expert again with G Squared yo-yos, it won't work out because it really is hard for him to advertise G Squared stuff if he doesn't have stock in his store. Drew Miller asks, what machine shops are making your latest models these days? At this point, I'm mostly just keeping my machine shops to myself. I know if you guys have been around for a while, you know who they are. We've added a couple, since you guys know the Case File was made in the new shop. Ghost is also made in a different new shop. So sorry I can't specifically answer that. J4 Zuka says, how do you get ideas for colorways? Any organic shapes in the works? It's been a while since you released an O shape. Colorway ideas come from everyday stuff, but mostly it's all created up here in what you think is going to contrast nicely and pop nicely. Because if you see a lot of my colorways, I'll name them after I get them and realize, hey, they kind of looks like this. But a lot of them start out up here, and it's just trying to create a good contrast of colors that complement each other, but also pop against each other. And then as far as an O shape, yes, the Case File 002 is going to be a thing of beauty for you if you're looking for an organic yo-yo. Codename Source says, will G2 Ace and get his own show with Bruce and G2 Jr. as his trusty sidekick? I don't think I could afford them. Their royalties just for appearing in the vlog are too high. Fox Sprite says, with anodization, is it possible to do non-organic patterns on yo-yos, like very crisp graphic images or stripes or plaid? You can definitely do stripes and plaid. The other stuff gets tricky. If you can cut it out on a vinyl die cutting machine, you can mask it onto the yo-yo and you can anodize around it. You can do pretty well depending on how thick the image is before you start getting the blurred line around the outline. Thesis Yo-Yo says, are you planning on making any signature models anytime soon? No, is the short answer. I have something coming out that's kind of like a signature model. Well, okay, we have one yo-yo that might be for a well-known player. I've got it prototyped. And it might end up being for a player out there that's not on the team, kind of like we did Zammy and the Wolf. I'm not exactly sure. We're still working on the logistics of that, but if that is greenlit, we have big plans for that. If not, we'll still release a yo-yo. I'll tell you guys a story, and it'll just be something else. And then as far as current members on the team, I don't think any of them need something different than I've created that needs a signature model. I at one point had talked to it about Jesse when he was competing more. We started to get the ball rolling. Then he's had some arm injuries, so he hasn't been competing as much, and the desire isn't there for him right now. For signature yo-yo, I think it kind of fits a competition player more, as far as them having specific tricks they want to hit that they need a specific yo-yo for. And right now, I think everybody's pretty happy with our lineup. Between the Banshee and the Elite, I think they are pretty much covered as far as being able to do any tricks that they want. All right, that is the Instagram stuff. Let's head over to Reddit. Beef Swizzle says, would you consider China manufacturing for solid colorways only? Yes, I'll consider China manufacturing. I won't be switching completely over there, but I will keep it in mind as far as if I need to use it. I do believe that I can still maintain and create a premium product using their machined parts. Like you said, yeah, their solid colors are okay. I wouldn't do any of the other anodizing anymore over there. But I do think with the machining there getting better, I couldn't still do a premium product from there if needed. But right now, I'm still good. Jetski says, you've mentioned PUBG in your vlogs and you clearly like Halo. What other games do you play? Any interest in Overwatch? I also play H1Z1. That's my favorite computer game right now. That's the first game I ever played on computer as far as like a PC game. And then Halo still has my heart, probably always will. Overwatch, I have the game for PC. I just haven't dove into it yet because I haven't had the time. I can't just play a few games casually. If I'm going to play something, I'm going to need to put a lot of hours in and be competitive at it, basically. Backpack Jenkins says, can you give us any updates on Showdown Saturday? Is it going to make a comeback still? I don't have any updates for you, but I do plan on bringing it back. It probably won't be till the fall when we get to that. Kind of a little update, I guess, is I want to do cash prizes weekly. So we'll have sponsors every week for Showdown Saturday, and we'll have cash prizes every single time. I also want to do different type of tournament where, say we have 8 entries, and that's one video, and there's one winner of that, and that winner of that one video, that one trick battle, will take home a couple $100. So those are kind of the ideas I have in my head right now. I'm going to need a better way to get sponsors, and then I need to set up a better platform as far as getting everything in on time and me editing and uploading on time. Zodryn, Z-O-D-R-Y-N, given the Halo connection with the throw names, is there any chance for red versus blue names to match their character's armor? Or match their character's armor? I don't know. The best thing going with the Halo theme is all the stuff is still, it's Halo theme related, but it's not a direct reference to that. It applies to something else somewhere else, like the Ghost. Definitely is a Halo reference, but like the logo and everything is not even close to a Halo reference. So I don't know about the red versus blue stuff, like Sarge or Church or even the armor stuff. Like definitely not the armor stuff, because that's not something I paid attention to when playing. But that's where we're at that. And then with the most controversial question on the Reddit, and this thing had a big discussion. I've already answered it before, but 537OH55V says, will there be any changes to the shopping cart so we won't get cart clucked while checking out? Short answer, no. The cart is doing exactly what it should. I know it's frustrating that you get through the process, try to check out, and it's gone. But, like you suggested, when you put it in the cart, it saved for you. That doesn't work. It still comes down internet connection, the first person to add it. And then that just opens the door for so many trolls. And then you suggested a timer. What do you want the timer to be? 5 minutes? That's enough time for you to check out probably before it gets kicked back out. How long do you want to sit there at a drop and hope that somebody's either not going to buy something or that troll is going to stop adding stuff to their cart? Because, so even if we limit it to 1 per person, which I don't want to do because I like dropping multiple yo-yos, so if somebody wants to pick up an Elite and a Banshee, they should be able to. But, okay, so it's sitting in their cart for 5 minutes. They're going to remove it, re-add it, and then they can sit there another 5, another 5, another 5, another 5. So it just does not work out the way I want it to. I know it's frustrating for you that you can have something in your cart and go to checkout and you don't get it. But honestly, that's the best way to do it. The demand right now is just way too high. I don't say that in a bad thing. It's a wonderful problem to have, but it's a little bit of a problem. Basically, the website for the launch on Wednesday at noon, middle of the day, there was 140 to 160 individual users on the website for 30 yo-yos. So I know not all those people are trying to buy. A lot of people are just there to watch the drop, and that's why the site breaks, because it can't handle that many people refreshing the page. But that's the biggest issue. So just adding it to your cart and being able to buy it, well, it might seem better to you, like you get that instant gratification quicker. Okay, I'm safe, I've got it. It just opens a door for so many more headaches, in my opinion. And I've looked at other things, and then this still seems to be the best way to do a high demand item when your demand is much, much greater than your supply. That's basically what I have to say about that. I do apologize for the frustration. I understand it. I do understand it. I'm just doing what I think is best for everyone involved. That's gonna do it for us today, guys. Thank you all for asking such good questions. I think you guys had some good questions today, and I do appreciate that. If I didn't pick your question, I'm sorry. I might have just skipped over it. If you thought it was a good one, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll pick you guys up next week. After next week. I'm taking next week off. I'll pick you guys up after that. See you guys.